Alright everyone, here we go with episode number 2 of Man Talk. Let's take a look at some toy news here from the world of collecting. We're going to start with another McFarlane Toys show. They had episode 5 on June the 12th. Had some cool announcements in this, guys, with one of them being something that kind of caused a little bit of a buzz last week with something Todd's trying to do. You know, love him or hate the guy, he is always trying to innovate and try things outside of the norm. He's done that yet again with one Superman figure, so we'll take a look at that here in a minute. First of all, we'll take a look at the Superman and Godzilla. This is up for pre-order now for $80. The last Batman and Kong was only $70, which to me was a little bit overpriced, given that your big fig there does not have a whole lot of articulation. For whatever reason, McFarlane Toys got, I know at Target stores at least, they have had another price increase, and I'm recording this on June the 16th. I know in the Target store I went in today, everything had raised again for McFarlane, so I guess the prices for them are still going up. They haven't plateaued yet. We'll see how high they get, but this one here, if you do like these ones, the Justice League versus Godzilla and Kong, this is up for pre-order now, wherever you like to buy your McFarlane from. It is not exclusive to any certain place, and we should start seeing it show up at Books A Million, GameStop, and Target, and all that stuff here. Probably the next month or so, we'll see if it starts popping in there, but this one is up for pre-order now. As far as the rest of this stuff we're going to show, I mean, they didn't really give any kind of information on when it's going to release. A lot of it, they just said, you know, check McFarlane's social media. So that's what I got on my notes as we go forward. You guys let me know that watch this live stream. It kind of seemed to me they weren't all that prepared. Almost like they were just kind of winging it out there. And even the video quality at times got really grainy. We couldn't tell a whole lot about it. It wasn't the best, I think, presentation from McFarlane Toys on a live stream or, you know, a release video or something like that, but that's just a personal preference. Now, one of the things they did announce, given the price I probably will pick up, is this. I love the Kingdom Come storyline from back in the day, and looking at the images there of the figure, this looks pretty good. It's a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. Now, I may be wrong on this one as well, but I think these cover creations have been Amazon exclusives thus far, but this one will be McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. You can see it there on the image. Now, I got it in big bold letters for you on top of the screen, but once again, they didn't give any kind of release dates on this. They just said to check their social media. They would announce the pre-order dates whenever they get them determined, but this is one thing we got coming from the cover creation. Another one, and this one is one to be easy pass for me. This is a 6-scale resin statue of the new Superman. This will probably be expensive. Now, they didn't cover any prices during this live stream either. But, you know, this is probably going to be well over $100, I would assume. May not be, I don't know. But I tried to look for this online because they did mention before they started showing this that this was available now. But I couldn't find it on McFarlane Toy Store. And I also couldn't find it on Entertainment Earth or any other Big Bad Toy Store, any of those. So I don't know if it's available yet or not, guys. It may be pretty soon here, who knows. But you do have this resin 6-scale statue of the new Superman coming here and for the new movie. It is almost 14 inches tall, so it's a good size. Again, it's the resin. It should have decent quality. I've only seen a couple of the resin statues from McFarlane, and they seem to look pretty good. I gotta say, they're not look cheap or anything like that. So we'll see when it starts hitting, but this should be coming soon if it's not already up for pre-order somewhere. And next we have a new wave of superpowers. You got this coming exclusively to McFarlane Toy Store. It's not up for pre-order yet. Again, they said check their social media. They'll announce when that does happen, but you've got 4 figures coming there, and I've heard people saying this is going to be the last wave of superpowers, but now I did not hear them say that on the live stream. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying when I listened to it, if they did say it, I missed that part of it, but you got 4 of them coming. Number 1 here is Animal Man, and the cool thing you'll notice about this, he does have a soft goods jacket. I'm trying to think back, guys, on the superpower. I know you got capes that are soft goods, but I don't think you've had like a jacket or something yet on one of these that I could remember. So you got a soft goods jacket for Animal Man there, which kind of differently done in the past. And again, these will be exclusive to McFarlane Toy Store. You won't find these in Walmart's, Target's, Books A Million, or anything like that. But you got Animal Man, and this one excited me. It also disappointed me. I really hoped we would get a cyborg that would be vac metal like the one from the original figure line, but you can tell here by looking, he is not the shiny silver. He's the dull gray plastic. Still a throwback to the classic cyborg from the first wave of figures back in the 80s, but still, it would have been cool to have that vac metal cyborg. As far as these guys, I don't know about these. I would kind of like the next 2 you're going to see are the 2 if I would buy, I might would get, but I don't know if they're going to do this as a 4-pack or you can buy the individual figures. We'll have to see when they go up for pre-order, but This one here is one that I would like to have, the Dead Man figure. The image they showed of it, which it was the image you see here on the screen, they just had it on a carousel going around there, but I think that figure looks good. Dead Man's an awesome character. I've got his 7-inch multiverse figure. I think it'd be cool to have the superpower figure to be a companion to that, but I think that one looks good with the red, and you can't tell in this photo, but when they showed a little bit more of the head sculpt, it's got some detailing. It looks like some texturing on the head, so it looks like they've done a little bit of kind of extra detail work there on Dead Man. And then our last one is 80s Pimp Daddy Disco Nightwing. There you go. That's the way Nightwing looked when I first started reading Batman comics back in the day, after he quit being Robin, of course, and started being Nightwing. This is an awesome looking figure from Superpowers. This is another one I might get because we're going to see a little spoiler on down the line here. There's also a multiverse figure coming of this version of Nightwing. So again, I'll kind of like to have that Superpower version and the 7-inch multiverse version, as we are starting to probably start to see a little bit of the wind down at McFarlane Toys. I mean, we're almost halfway through 2025. His license will run out, I think it's early 26 when Mattel takes back over, so we're starting to see some of the beginning of the end, I guess, here from McFarlane with DC, so we'll see what else they crank out. But those are 4 McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Superpowers. They need to check your McFarlane social media when they announce the pre-orders if you do want to pick these things up. Alright, right here you go, guys, and I apologize for the crappy quality pictures, but whatever reason, their stream, you just couldn't get a good picture. It was kind of, you see it, looking there, the two guys, it was kind of dark and kind of blurry. But McFarlane is the first toy company to do an exclusive for Ross Dress for Less. Ross has become a popular destination. It's always been for cheap toys, but more so here in the last couple of years, or last 2 to 3 years, as they've been getting more hitter items. Well, McFarlane is the first to give them an exclusive action figure from the DC Multiverse line. Now, during the stream, they did say the one you see here on the blister card is going to be a bubbled card. It looks like with a little bit of recycle here from a multiverse box. This is the basic Superman figure. You know, you got now in Target, you're seeing the battle damaged and the common. This is the common Superman with no extra hands, no accessories, the rubber cape. You just get the figure you see there in the bubble. Now, they did not announce a price point, but I'm seeing a lot of people online are saying it's going to be $15, $14.99, and I don't know anything about a release date, so it should be coming soon to Ross Dress for Less, this McFarlane DC Multiverse movie version of Superman. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think Ross getting exclusives is a good or a bad thing? If you see other toy companies shift to this model, if they get exclusives and they're not buying it off a bulk retailer or a bulk warehouse cleanout or something, you're probably going to see the price of those be higher than you used to pay it. I mean, Multiverse is usually $4.99 or $5.99 in Ross. This will not be $4.99 or $5.99. This is going to be, I think, at least $10, if not the $15 point people were saying online. But what do you think, guys? Do you want to see Hasbro start doing this? Do you want to see GIJoe and some of the other figure companies start working with Ross to pump out some exclusives? Or you think this is a horrible idea? But we'll see what happens when it shows up. I'm sure a lot of people, and I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to pick this up if I find it, just so I can say I had the Ross exclusive Superman. So we'll see when it starts showing up. We'll try to pick us one up when we start seeing them in store. Alright, let's take a look at the rest of this stuff here. Coming soon to select retailers, you have another 2-pack coming with Merciless and the Batman Who Laughs. Now, this Merciless figure, I think the red looks awesome, and the head sculpt on him I think looks pretty sweet as well. But this is a 2-pack. Merciless is on one side. You do have this version of Batman Who Laughs on the other. Again, no exact release date or any kind of hint was given during the stream. Just be sure to check McFarlane's social media. They will announce when and where it's to go up for pre-order, but this should be able to be pre-ordered to any retailer you normally get your McFarlane from. They did not say it was exclusive to any certain one. We do have the Merciless and the Batman Who Laughs 2-pack coming. Looks good. I like the look of Merciless especially, but I'll probably skip this one. I wouldn't mind to pick this one up loose later on, maybe at a toy shop or something, if I could find one out of packaging. But as far as a 2-pack, it's probably going to be $70 or $80 the way McFarlane pricing is looking right now. I'm not willing to pay that much for it. Alright, one that I do want to pick up, the newest wave of Page Punchers to be announced. Here you go, guys. He gave us Steel. He gave us Cyborg Superman, the classic. He gave us Eradicator, the repaint there. It's out right now. Here comes Superboy to round out the reign of the Supermen. The only one I hope he still gives us is the Solar Suit Superman. And then he's given us a mullet Superman before in the collector's editions, the one that came with Crypto. But I think we need the Laser Suit Superman or Solar Suit Superman. And then I think we need a good classic on a smaller body mullet Superman to really round this out. But as far as getting the 4 different Supermen. Superboy here will be the last one. You had the Con-El version that came out a while back. This one's supposed to be more styled after the one from Reign of the Supermen before he got the jacket. But you do have this coming in page punchers. You got Superboy. You also have this classic looking Wonder Woman here, and again, these are not exclusive to any retailer, and they didn't announce the pre-hired or pre-order date like they did to some of this other stuff, so we'll have to check their social media. But you have a classic Wonder Woman here, her appearance from her first comics is coming. And then the last one in this one, you have a Steve Trevor, which is Wonder Woman's love interest, Diana's love interest in the old Wonder Woman comics and the movies and stuff, so that figure actually looks pretty good. I don't know if I will get this one, and Wonder Woman I'll probably skip. I've got the collector's edition. That's kind of my Wonder Woman for my collection. So out of these, Superboy I'm definitely going to get unless the price is stupid. And then Wonder Woman I'm probably going to pass on. Steve, I don't know. If he was 6-inch, I'd probably get him because he would scale with GIJoe, Operation Monster Force, stuff like that. But the 7-inch, I'll probably let this one go by the wayside as well. As far as platinums, no idea. They didn't say on the stream, but you know how McFarlane is. I say at least one of them, if not 2 of them, will have platinums out of that line. All right, your next digital way, the digital NFT. You have Stephanie Brown Batgirl that is coming, and then once again, no release date or anything announced yet. We'll have to check back to see when they go up for pre-order, but you do have Stephanie Brown Batgirl. You have probably one of the few out of this wave I will get. I do want the Batman No Man's Land. Guys, I gotta admit, I've got the trade paperback of No Man's Land. I've had it for years. I don't think I've ever read it. But the Batman figure here from it does look good. Love that dark blue on that dark gray. And I'm a sucker for Batman figures. You watch my channel, you know that. So I'll probably end up picking this one up if I can find it when it hits stores. You got that nice wired cape on there as well, the dark blue. So we'll look to add this Dark Knight to the collection, and I've got to get my comic book back out and read No Man's Land. Anybody who's read that, let me know in the comments if it's a good story or not. Monarch, I got to be completely honest here. I'm not really familiar with who Monarch is, but I will say the figure does look cool. You got the gray and the blues and the yellows there, kind of Batmanish colors on him, but this is another one coming in that awesome looking figure, but this one will be a pass for me just because I'm not really familiar with who the Monarch character is in DC. And then going back to the superpowers we're looking at, this one I will pick up. I will get the classic 80s looking Nightwing here. I like to have that and the superpowers figure to pair together. It's all going to depend on the price point when these things come out. And I keep going back to that price because like I mentioned, I've been seeing some McFarlane here doing some more price increases in Target this week. So we're going to have to see if that's going to be widespread or if it's just Target trying to be a little bit greedy. But Nightwing, I'd like to have you in the collection when you come out, if I can afford you. Alright, we have finished discussing the Fidgetal. Let's move on to some DC Multiverse. First of all, we got 2 gold label editions that will be Target exclusives. Number 1 here is Mr. Miracle. Now, I do like the character of Mr. Miracle. I like the looks of him there. The one thing that kind of turns me off on this figure, though, I wish he had a soft goods cape. This thing in the picture here, to me, it looks like it's plastic. Let me know, guys. I mean, it may end up not being, I don't know. Maybe it's just shiny fabric, but it looks like plastic in here the way that it looks. We'll have to see if it's a fixed cape or if it is a wired cape with him. But other than that, the coloring of the figure looks great and all that. And Mr. Miracle's a cool character, so this one I got in the maybe column. Not the definite yes, not the definite no. This one's a maybe once I lay eyes on it. This one, Sandman, also Target exclusive gold label. Looks good. I'm probably going to pass on this one, guys. I know this is the classic iteration of Sandman. I've never read the comics. I'm not super familiar with the character. He looks good. He comes with the comic accurate weapon and stuff, and love the way the coat looks with the weathering and the little stress marks and stuff you can see there, the different lighter indentions in the sleeves on the jacket. That's great detailing on this figure, I will say that. I wonder if this is another reuse or repaint of the Heath Ledger Joker body we just saw on the Jeremy Irons Alfred, just with the jacket on there. We'll have to see once it comes out, but cool looking figure. This one I probably will pass on though, just for not having a lot of nostalgic ties to this figure and this character. And then once again, you got prices of these seem like they're going up a little bit. So if they are more expensive, I got to be a little more picky on the ones that I pick up. But on all these figures tonight, guys, let me know down in the comments which one of these are you all buying, which one are you passing on, which ones do you love, which ones do you hate. One that I love, and if it is 25, 26 bucks, I'm still going to buy it. I'm going to get the Multiverse Azrael based on his look in the Knight's End storyline. For those of you not familiar, Knight's End is the ending of the whole Nightfall trilogy. You had Nightfall, then you had Night Quest, then you had Knight's End, where Bruce Wayne came back to have to smack down Jean-Paul Vallée, aka Azrael, to take back the mantle of the Bat. But you've got a lot of different versions of Azrael. These are always very popular figures, as I'm sure this one will be as well. You had platinums of the last release of Azrael, so I'm wondering if we're going to have a platinum of this one. But honestly, thinking back to the comic storyline, now it's been years since I've read it, I can't remember him having a different look from this in that storyline. He had the one we saw before, we had the red costume and then the blue platinum. Seems like, in my mind's eye, that's the costume he had before he switched to the one you see on the screen. So I don't know if we'll get another platinum unless they do like a classic looking Azrael or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. All that jabbling aside, this will be a pickup for me once it starts to hit. And again, these are going to whatever retailers usually sell multiverse as part of the next wave of DC multiverse from McFarlane. And this figure, the first release of this with the silver armor, I'm not familiar again with the Batwing character, so I didn't pick it up. I think this looks cool with the black armor with that bright bat symbol on the chest, and then look at the eyes. They got the bright paint there on the eyes as well. It's like they're glowing on that. Really looks cool against that black paint job on the body of the figure. This will probably be, I'm going to say, a hard pass because the figure looks cool. I know I want to see it. I'm going to want it. But I'm going to try to stay strong and not pick it up just because I'm not familiar with the character of Batwing. But again, it doesn't mean the figure doesn't look sweet. Whoever's a fan of this character, I'm sure they'll enjoy getting that and putting it into their DC Multiverse collection. Alright, this is another one. I usually buy Batman figures. I can't help it. I'm a sucker. The Trioika, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I am very sorry. I am not familiar with this version of Batman. I have to say, the first time I watched this live stream, it was while I was at work and I had the sound turned off. Because, I didn't want everybody else in the office to have to listen to the live stream. I thought I'm trying to remember who used to draw Batman with the big tall ears. Was it Doug Millark or something? I can't remember his name. I know in the Nightfall cover where he's got the board with the nail in it hitting the guy in the face. I think Detective Comics, he drew that cover. But he always drew Batman, long story short, with the big horns like that, the big ears. So I kind of like it because of that, but again, I'm just not, I don't know what Troika, whatever it is there is. I'm sure there's a storyline somewhere in Batman's lore, but I'm going to try to stay strong, not pick this one up because I'm not familiar with this version of the Bat. But that doesn't mean it doesn't look good. Anybody who likes that storyline or that version of Batman, I'm sure they will enjoy getting this into their collection. Okay, we got McFarlane coming out. Would not be complete without another wave of collector's editions on this one. Now guys, with these, you have to keep in mind, you do normally have two versions of every collector's edition figure. There's usually always a common, always a platinum. So we have to keep in mind, we'll probably see platinums of these next few figures pop up as these collector's editions start to drop. But you got another version of Beast Boy here. Now they did mention in the live stream, you see the rat and the snake that he comes with. I think they mentioned he comes with some other animals that he can morph into as far as what comes with the figure. They just only showed those here in the image. And then cool, we got the slice of pizza. Man, that's pretty sweet there as well. He should come with a turtle, have a little Easter egg for the Ninja Turtles in there. But you got Beast Boy coming in collector's editions. You also have Mirror Man. Now Mirror Man was, I think he's an interesting character. He's not one I want to pick up because these collector's editions are what, $31, $32 now. But one thing I do like, and in the collector's editions, you get a nice collector's edition figure, and you also get a lot of obscure characters that you don't get in regular action figure waves from McFarlane DC. So Mirror Master, he definitely fits that description in my opinion as one of the more obscure characters. Metron, oh, this guy looks cool, and I think people are going to want this figure because they're going to want that throne for one there to use with other figures and dioramas and such. The figure looks great. He's simple, but the detailing on him looks good, and then that throne is just sweet that he comes with. This is going to be one I'm going to have to see it. I might get this one once I lay eyes on the physical figure. I'm not going to pre-order any of these collector's editions, but if I do see him in store, I may give in on him if I do end up running into him. I'm curious to see if he does have a platinum, what that platinum looks like. So I may want that more than is common depending on what look of him they were to pick for the platinum edition. And now for the one that will be taking the Man Collects money. Right there, classic Deathstroke, and we got to get a platinum. I don't know what they could do for the platinum, maybe one with the mask off, some different coloring, something like that, but huge fan of Deathstroke. This is how he looked when I first started reading comics, and he appeared in them back in the days, so this one I do want to pick up for my collection, once again, unless the price is just too ridiculous. Now, I had another picture of him, I didn't put it in here, you can't hardly tell there, but he does have a pistol in his holster there, so he does, well, Batman Year 2 there came with one that came out a while back, but He also comes with a weapon. I don't think he comes with a rifle or anything. It didn't show it in the live stream. They didn't mention it. But he does have his bandolier bullets there. He's got his sidearm and an awesome classic looking Deathstroke. So I definitely want that in my collection once that starts to drop. And more than likely, if there is a platinum, I will grab that one as well, if it's because of my love for the character. Well, we talked enough about DC. Let's move over to some Hasbro now with some Marvel Legends. Now, what you're seeing on the screen, I apologize for the blurry picture. I had to blow this up pretty big from a small thumbnail picture that I had of it. But this will be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Now, I saw some people online in pursuit of toys, maybe Toy Shiz, I can't remember. There were 2 or 3 sites. I don't want to misquote someone here for not having this on there, but I saw $89.99, $90. I don't know if that's a guess. I don't know if that's the leaked price. That's why I put a question mark up there. But what do you guys think? $90 for 3 figures? I mean, you're averaging $30 a figure. It looks like Sauron's a pretty good size there. I would pay $90 for this because I think that Sauron figure looks sweet. I also like the Savage Land Rogue and then the Shauna the She-Devil it comes with as well. They've done, I think, a tease for Shauna here a while back. I wonder if this is what they were talking about in this 3-pack. Now, one thing I don't know, I'm assuming it's Gamerverse. It's got to be, I guess, an app game, or I don't remember a game called Snap. Was that something on mobile, on computer? I don't remember anything like that for Xbox or PlayStation or anything. But again, the figures look sweet. I got some more images of those here. There is a better image of Rogue standalone. Then you've got Shanna, and then you've got Sauron here screaming. I always thought Sauron was an awesome character, so I've got the old Toy Biz figure of him. I don't have a Marvel Legend or a new 6-inch scale of him in my collection, so I'm thinking about picking this one up if it does go up for sale anywhere, or if I got any friends, T3 Collects, that's going to SDCC that I might can con in to picking one of these up for me and sending it to me. But an awesome looking 3-pack here. If it is $90, I don't know, for the size of that figure there, it looks like you get some decent amount of accessories and stuff with them. I'm not going to say that's an unfair price given to the pricing of today's toys, but we'll have to see with a cool looking 3-pack coming to SDCC. Let's follow up real quick, guys, on something from the last Man Talk video that I did. Let's take a look here at Gargantos on the screen from Marvel Legends. Just a real quick reminder, this will go up for pre-order on June the 18th, which is the day this video dropped on YouTube at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It will be available at Hasbro Pulse. It'll be available at fan channel retailers and Amazon.com. But keep in mind that Gargantos here will be up for pre-order today as this video does drop on YouTube on June the 18th. It should be up at 1 o'clock p.m. Another one to keep in mind, not to forget about, is Juggernaut. Juggernaut does come up on the 26th of June at 1 p.m., and he'll be the same retailers, Hasbro Pulse. He'll be available at the fan channel retailers and also Amazon.com. So you've got Gargantos coming out today for pre-order, June the 18th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on June 26th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll be able to pre-order the Juggernaut you see on the screen now at Hasbro Pulse, fan channel retailers, and Amazon. Let's take a look at some Joes. Here we go, some retro cardback figures that are up for pre-order right now. Now, these do not say exclusive, so I'm assuming you can pre-order these wherever you like to get your GIJoe classified and retro carded stuff from. But one retro card we got coming here is the Bat. Another guy, to me, you can't get too many of these things. I mean, they're good to army build. I mean, they look good in displays and all that. I've got a bunch of Crimson ones. I've got a bunch of the Iron Grenadier ones, and honestly, the one I have the fewest of in my collection is the one you see on the screen. I've only got one of these. I may look to pick a couple of these up, but I'm going to wait till they show up in retailers and not going to pre-order them. But you can see down here at the bottom of the screen, I'll scroll down a little bit, this is not expected to ship from Hasbro Pulse until December 1st of this year. So we're not going to see these to the winter time, but you can pre-order one now if you don't want to have to go through the whole rigmarole of trying to find it in stores. But hey, if this thing follows suit, most of the time you do end up seeing these things in retail before the pre-orders even ship out in most cases. So we'll see what happens. We do have the Bat coming here. Looks like the same retail price of $24.99. At least that's what's on Hasbro Pulse as of the time of this video. But you not only have the Bat, you also have a retro cardback GIJoe Trooper, another good army builder here coming out. Again, $24.99, up for pre-order now. And again, same date, is expected to ship on or around December 1st, 2025 from Hasbro Pulse. Now, once again, I didn't look at Entertainment Earth. I didn't look at BBTS. I don't know if they're showing the same shipping schedule for that, or if they're showing later or before. I don't know without going to the site and looking. But if you're interested in picking up this guy or the Bat, be sure to check wherever you buy your GIJoe from and get your pre-order in if you don't want to have to try to track them down in store. But we do have something else. This right here, guys, the Awe Striker and Crankcase. I say it every time Classified gives us a vehicle that I think I'm going to break over and get this one. This is another one I'm thinking I kind of want to break over and get this one. $99.99. Now this is Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so if you do want to pre-order one of these, you do have to go to Hasbro Pulse to get this thing if you do want to grab it. Same shipping time frame, December 1st, 2025 is when they're estimating this thing to ship out. And we'll take a look at some of the other pictures of it here. The thing looks great. It's just a cool, heavily armed little Doom buggy. You got your M2 50 cal there on the top. You got rocket launchers. You got another, probably I would assume that's probably I don't know what that is, an M60 mounted there on the passenger side. You know, got Crankcase driving there, got his coffee mug. He is good to go. But just some more cool shots. I don't know who does their photography for these things, but that's some cool looking shots there. I mean, that's a good looking. It makes me, I don't know about you guys, makes me want it more just seeing how they do the photos of it here in this desert background. I mean, the thing, it's even got cup holders. The thing's got flipping cup holders. How awesome and detailed is that? $100. I mean, it's kind of on the same price point as the last couple of vehicles they had come out, so I'm not going to say they're trying to gouge or raise the prices up on it, especially seeing that it also comes with a figure. It looks like you get tons of accessories with it, and then the thing again, it just looks sweet. I'm going to give in on these GIJoe vehicles eventually. I don't know if this will be the one or not. We'll have to wait and see, but we'll check this thing out when it gets a little closer to time for it to release. Am I going to pre-order it? Nah, probably not, which means I probably won't get it if it sells out, but, you know, I may end up getting this thing, who knows, later on down the line, and a little bit later on this year. But you do have this up for pre-order now, and keep in mind, it is exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. Our last GIJoe offering of the evening is going to be a 2-pack with one of my favorite GIJoe characters, Sergeant Slaughter. I do have a couple of different Slaughter figures in my collection. Am I going to get this 2-pack? I don't know if I want to pay $60 just to get another Slaughter. And I do like the figure, the Felix Mercer Stratton that he comes with in the 2-pack case. And again, this one should be available at any retailer that usually carries Joe's. I forgot to mention that it is not exclusive. And the same time frame, December 1st, 2025 is what Hasbro Pulse here is estimating. But again, this looks like a good looking 2-pack. I like the Sergeant Slaughter figure. It's another color variation. You had the Mad Marauders that was out here a while back, and now you got this one coming. I tell you the one thing I wish they would give us. I wish they would give us Sarge and his tank. You know, the classic one-seater solo tank he had back in the day. You know, with the classic GIJoe line. I'm hoping we get that from Hasbro. And maybe they've given it to us before I started paying a lot of attention to GIJoe Classified. I don't know, but I would like to get that with the classic Sergeant Slaughter figure here before too long. We'll have to see if that ever comes out. But sweet looking 2-pack. Let me know in the comments, guys. You're going to pass? You're going to pick up any of this GIJoe goodness? And let's move on to our next, which is the Ghostbusters. We got a couple of things here we're going to look at for Ghostbusters. Number one here is the Rooftop Showdown 4-pack. It's $100 up for pre-order right now. This is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so you got to get this from Pulse if you do want to grab it. Now this one's got a little bit longer of a wait time on it. It's showing to ship on approximately March 1st of 2026. So if you do put a pre-order in for this, it's going to be a while before you get these figures. Looking at the images here, they don't look too bad. The only one I'm kind of questioning is Bill Murray. That doesn't look, I mean, kind of, but not exactly like Bill Murray. They did pretty good on Ray. They could have done a little more Ernie Hudson-ish there on Winston. That one I think looks the best. Harold Ramis is Egon Spangler, but again, a sweet looking throwback here to classic Ghostbuster movies. I'm sure Ghostbuster fans are going to jump all over these. Hopefully you'll get them added to your collection. You will enjoy them. But for any of you Ghostbuster collectors out there, it is up for pre-order now. It is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and it should ship out around March of next year according to their estimates at this current time. But cool looking 4-pack. Let me know in the comments again. Are you going to get this stuff or are you going to pass on it? The other thing we got, now guys, I don't know for sure, so if I get this wrong, you know, somebody let me know. This was a HasLab at one time, was it not? This Plasma Series Proton Pack based on the '84 movie. But I think this went back up for pre-order on Ghostbusters Day, which honestly I don't remember when Ghostbusters Day was. I know it's already came and went here recently, but Archer, buddy, if you watch this, don't trash me in the comments. I'm not a huge Ghostbuster fan as I used to be, but again, $300 for this. If you want to put in a pre-order, it's supposed to ship around the same time as that 4-pack, March 1st, 2026. If you'd like to have a Proton Pack. Now, I gotta admit, I'm not enough of a Ghostbuster collector. Actually, do I have anything Ghostbusters in my collection? I got a bunch of die-cast Ectos, I know that. I don't think I got anything else, but I kind of like to have a Proton pack, but I'm not going to spend $300 for it. I'm just kind of a casual fan of the movies. But the thing does look cool. It would look cool for some cosplay, or if adults dressing up for Halloween, or whatever they want to do with it. But looks like it's nicely detailed. And again, if you want to pick this up, it is up for pre-order now, and it's not expected to ship until March 1st of 2026, and is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. My friends, let's shift away from action figures briefly to talk about something else that the man collects really enjoys, that is trading cards. Now, anybody that follows trading cards, Upper Deck used to have the Marvel license. They lost it to TOPPS. TOPPS did do a TOPPS Chrome Marvel set for 2024, but it was only available, I think, overseas, and only a few people over here got it through an EQL lottery. But TOPPS Chrome 2025 Marvel is their first mass release. It did release on June the 16th. So wherever you get your trading cards from, just keep checking with them. They should be getting these blaster boxes in here, or they're calling it a value box, but it's a blaster box, here pretty soon. There was an EQL auction held, or lottery, it's not an auction, like an EQL lottery that was held on the 16th to get a hobby box. I did put in an entry. Sadly, I did not win. They did have some of these value blaster boxes here up for pre-order or for order, and I wasn't able to get those either. They sold out very quickly, but I will say, I would assume it would be the same price at retail, but don't quote me if it's different. They were $29.99 when they were on TOPPS website before they sold out. That is cheaper than I thought these things would be. I thought they'd be $40 a box, but it looks like hopefully they are going to be around $30 a box. Now, there are some online retailers. Dave & Adams already has them up for sale, but they're charging $60 for a blaster box. I'm not going to pay that much. I want to try to catch them at Target and catch them at Walmart when they start to drop. For you card collectors out there, the TOPPS Chrome stuff is usually kind of hard to track down. The WWE Chrome, I did find it several times here in my area, but it was a small window, maybe 2-3 weeks, and I saw them, and then they didn't show back up after that. So I'm looking forward to getting some of these. Any of my trading card people watching these videos, if you're into these cards, you're looking forward to them, be checking wherever you get your cards from and see. Hopefully they'll be showing up here, hopefully by the end of this week. It's the 18th when this video will drop. I'm hoping, by this weekend I may see some of these at some of the retailers that I hit. But really looking forward to these cards. They have been released now, so I'll show you one more time what the box looks like. Be looking for this at your favorite trading card vendor, because they should be showing up here hopefully by the end of this week. Alright guys, we got one more topic we're going to look at that I don't have a lot of information on. I got to do some more research, but we're going to take a look at the Jason universe. It looks like we're going to be getting some more content and maybe some more toys. We'll look at that here in a second, based off of the Friday the 13th franchise. Now, they have re-imaged Jason. I think Greg Nicotero, if I would pronounce that right. And here it is. This is his concept art here for the 45th anniversary version of Jason Voorhees. A lot of people are crapping on this. They don't like the mask. I don't like the big chevron here above his eyes. That's not typical for Jason. I don't really care about the marks there on the face, but again, you know how stuff is. If you're a purist, you don't like when they change it. The whole pattern on the mask is kind of different from the way they were in the old movies, but you know how this stuff goes. Every time they re-image it or reimagine it, they're going to change it a little bit. Now, one thing I think they've kind of copied this off of, if anyone watches the fan films by Vincent DeSanti and Womp Stomp Films, the Never Hike Alone, #1, if you have not watched the Never Hike Alone trilogy, it's for free on YouTube. Go look it up. I'll put a link to those movies in the description of this video. They are excellent for fan-made movies, and for fans of Friday the 13th, I think you'd really enjoy those if you haven't seen them. But when you watch those movies, take a look at Jason and how he looks in those movies, and it's very, very similar to how he looks here in this image. So I'm thinking they might have based some of this design off of that. But I gotta say, I like the classic zombie Jason, my favorite, with Kane Hodder back in Part 7, Part 8, and stuff like that. But I'm okay with a little bit of change as long as the movies are good and all that. We'll see what we get with this when it comes out. There's all kinds of articles. I'll put the link to this Jason Universe website in the description as well. They have all kinds of articles on here about this where you can look it up and read, and hopefully get some more information on this as it moves forward. But not only does it look like we're getting a redesigned Jason, maybe some new movies, maybe some new stuff, NECA put up a tease this week as well. Actually, this was on Friday the 13th, which anybody knows the fandom, that was Jason Voorhees' birthday. But they've got Jason Universe here with a NECA symbol down there at the bottom. So I'm taking that to mean that whatever this Jason Universe comes to be, NECA's on board producing some figures for it. But NECA, I gotta say, I will buy the new Jason we just took a look at there if they put it out in a NECA figure. We need the one they're showing here, this Our Action Jewels right here, Part 8. We need a Part 8, we need a Part 9 Jason, and then we need the 2 versions from Jason X, the pre-Uber Jason and the Uber Jason, to kind of round out that NECA Ultimate Jason Voorhees line. So, looking forward to what we got coming here from Friday the 13th. Again, huge fan of those movies and the characters, and looking forward to see what we get. Alright everybody, as far as the man talk for this week, that's all I have for you. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the video, what you thought about the stuff we talked about, whether you're going to pick any of it up or not. Once again, if you did like the video, hit the like button for me. If you're not subscribed to The Man Collects, consider clicking subscribe. If you do, turn on your bell for notifications. You'll know when videos drop. Look me up on Instagram, follow me on there, and I will see you the next time the man decides to talk.